Hello everyone. It's been a while, hasn't it? Honestly, this past year has been so crazy I haven't had time to create videos, but I was recently watching my videos back and decided as we are heading towards the end of the year that I would share some of my thoughts about K-pop releases and groups this year. So with their release of God's Menu, I had seen people mention them in videos rating new K-pop releases. However, I didn't fully check them out until this month. And oh my god, what have I been doing with my time? They are so incredibly polished, and it's interesting because their music is mostly EDM, which is really not my thing, but they do it so well that I love all of their songs. I'm sure I haven't listened to their whole discography, but everything I have heard I love. If you don't like EDM, I get it, but they have quite a few songs which are a lot less intense. I think my favorites are My Pace and Mirror. My first impression of them was so good. The first time I had heard of Stray Kids was because I watched an Idol reaction video to Mamamoo, and in that video was Han from Stray Kids loving his life jamming away to Destiny and Hip, and I swear I fell in love Lmao. And then once I discovered I actually liked their music, I fell down a rabbit hole and learned more about them as people. I fell in love with Felix's and Chan's Aussie accents. I still don't really have a bias. It was Han, but once I heard Felix talk I fell so hard and have not recovered since. But Chan is such a sweetheart, and Hyunjin's hair makes me want to jump off a building, he is so hot. I also want to add how impressed I am with their rap line. Genuinely, they have one of the best rap lines in K-pop. I was especially surprised with Han, as I just assumed he was a vocalist because he looks so innocent. I mean, he is an incredible vocalist too, but I was genuinely shocked at how he came alive on stage. Like, look me in the eye and tell me that wasn't hot. I could really do an in-depth video on Stray Kids talking about all the members, because I am pretty much kissing Han's ass at this point, but he is such an all-round idol it really leaves me speechless. At the time of making this, V was released yesterday. Life Goes On wasn't really the comeback I expected, but once I heard the title I knew it was going to be something more relaxed. I think the song is gorgeous and the music video really had me in tears. The boys did so well, and it must be so hard for them to promote without Yoongi. In regards to the rest of the album, without a doubt Disease is my favorite. It makes sense because it is so clearly Hope's style, and Ego was my favorite solo track from Seven. It is so upbeat, and I don't know, I just have had it on repeat ever since. The album definitely does a 360 because the first half had me crying in bed, but you really have to pull yourself together after skit and get ready to shake some ass. Yeah, I really like this album, and I'm happy they incorporated some more upbeat songs rather making the entire album more mellow. I have been happy seeing the girls promoting and doing their thing more. Starting with Lovesick Girls, I think the song was good and pretty catchy. But like I said in my old Blackpink video, all of their songs sound relatively similar to me, and I'd love to hear something a bit different. But the sound does work for them, and it wasn't a bad song at all, it just feels like something I've heard before. Now Pretty Savage, however, I do think was a different sound for them, and that was fun to see. The first verses did bore me a little bit because Lisa and Jennie rap followed the exact same rhythm, which followed through to Jisoo's verse too. The song definitely could have been improved, and although this was different and something I had been wanting to see from them, I still think I prefer Lovesick Girls. I'm not sure, something felt a bit lazy with this. It didn't seem rushed, it just seemed lazy. The verses were repeats of each other and the chorus didn't stand out to me. I also hated the choreography, but that's a different issue. Lmao. Now lastly, Ice Cream. I was actually quite excited to see how this was going to sound. In my opinion, I know Selena isn't the best artist and her sound isn't something that particularly stands out to me. But this song was catchy, the girls looked gorgeous, and I liked Lisa's raps, but the song isn't something I've added to my playlist. Again, a lot of the song felt repeated to me. That's kind of where I stand with a lot of Blackpink songs. I don't dislike them, but I don't love them either, which just puts me in kind of a bored position. For this part I'm just gonna briefly touch on some of my favorite comeback songs from 2020. Firstly, I really liked Fromis 9's Feel Good. Not gonna lie, I had never heard of them and this is the only Fromis song I have listened to, but it has made a great impression. The song is so fun and catchy and the rap didn't feel forced at all, which I feel is the case with a lot of girl groups. The music video and choreography are so good as well. It was released in September but it felt like a great summer song to me. Next, Text. I really liked Blue Hour but I absolutely loved We Lost the Summer. For the meaning, it was a pretty upbeat song and we can all relate to the lyrics. Also, can we please take a moment for Yeonjun's hair? That man is immaculate. In one of my unpopular opinions video, I said I thought that TXT's debut was okay but I wasn't obsessed with it. But I will add here that Text impress me more every comeback and all the boys really shine and it's genuinely surprised me. As I mentioned before, I really loved Disease from the new BTS album and it's definitely one of my favorite songs this year. I can't express how much I love J-Hope's style when it comes to music and I definitely prefer the upbeat side of their music. I do appreciate their more reserved side too, but this style I adore. Also shout out to Jimin for writing his part in like 3 minutes talent. Baekhyun's Candy is also one of my favorite songs. I think I prefer UN Village but it's really hard to say because the songs are so different. But Candy is so fun, still shows his vocals and although it's a sweet song, no pun intended, he still manages to make it sexy. Yeah, props to Baekhyun, he has not got a single flaw in those vocals. Super M's releases have been pretty good and I've enjoyed all of them. But I will say one, Monster and Infinity takes the cake for me. Lucas' part at the end was so good and I do wish that was incorporated into the song more or it went on for a bit longer. But I really loved the chorus and found it really catchy. I definitely take this over Jopping, but I'd swoon over anything that has Baekhyun's vocals in it. Taemin's solo comeback, Criminal, was literally perfect. I adore his solo music and before this, Want was my favorite. But Criminal was so good, the dance, the vocals, the lyrics. The song tells a story on stage and it was just chef's kiss. I'm just going to lay some honorable mentions now otherwise this will get too long. Firstly, Dawn. His music has really surprised me. It's definitely subjective but I actually enjoyed both his releases, but Dawn Did It Dawn was unapologetically him and it was great. Secondly, Iveblo's La Dida was great and definitely my favorite comeback from them. 17's Left and Right is incredibly catchy and I was singing it for weeks. Chungha's Stay Tonight and Play are immaculate. Dynamite from BTS was obviously great and a full English song was something I never thought I'd see from them. It was also smart to release an English song before releasing B as well. There are plenty more songs I could add here, and I'm sure there will be more to add as the year actually closes. But my main discovery this year has been Stray Kids. I listen to a lot of groups, but it's usually just the odd song here and there. I don't tend to stan groups outside or what I already know, but within a day I had all their names memorized and I was watching clips and V-Lives to catch up. I still have a lot of their songs to listen to, but wow, if Jit plays his cards right they genuinely have the potential to be huge, especially in the West. Anyway, that's all for this video. Sorry for the year-long gap, LMAO. If there's anything you want to see, let me know and it might actually motivate me to edit. Thanks guys, take care.